Good evening. Let's talk some basketball, or should I just go ahead and sing it? Let's talk some basketball. Let's talk some basketball. Welcome to another edition of the Houston Roundball Review presents the Let's Talk Houston Rockets. I am KG Kris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review, local name global perspective. Last night, Thursday night, we took a look at the Rockets schedule for the regular season in October and November. Tonight, we're going to look at the Rockets schedule for the month of December. The poll question is up. Give your opinion on it. How many wins for the Rockets in December? It's going to be kind of different because the Rockets will have at minimum 2 games in the knockout rounds or part of the in-season tournament. If they reach the quarterfinals, semifinals, etc., those opponents are to be named later, so you don't know who they're going to be. If they get to the final of the championship game of the in-season tournament, which I don't believe anybody expects, but you never know, that would be an 83rd game, and it could be up to 15 games in the month of December. So instead of 14, could be up to 15. Anywho, long story short, WK, how are you doing? Thank you for your taking time out of your busy schedule to participate in the conversation with other family members of the LTHR Let's Talk Houston Rockets. The consensus pretty much for October and November was 8-8. I think it was an outlier in the 11 plus category for wins. Then he saw the schedule and said, no, that's gonna that's a little bit too much. But we can recap that in a few minutes. But here is the schedule for December. So JBK, you're the first to comment. Give me your thoughts on what you see there. First game on the road at the Lakers on December 2nd. And then after that, it'll be 2 games, either knockout round or it'll be regular season games. So let's say Rockets split those if you want to. And then, oh, interesting. And you're the Burnett family. That's a new name I have not seen before. Thank you very much for taking time to join us here. Join the family. Welcome. Welcome to the list. I'm going to put my face on the big screen. Why do you think that? I'm kind of blah about it. You know, I understand the idea of it or the intent of it, try to generate some interest during the early part of the season, generate more interest, I should say, in the early part of the NBA regular season. A lot of colleagues are kind of like me. I think I said it on KHOU sports show, kind of blah about it. The payout's not great. I'm just kind of curious to see how the players respond to how important will it be to them to be part of the in-season tournament. The games count. Oh, okay. More basketball, less tanking. We'll see. I mean, these games are in November. The 4 games part of the group setting. 4 games in your group. There's 6 groups. You can look at that. Pull it up in case folks are curious about that. Right here, you got West Group A, West Group B, West Group C. Rockets are in Group B. You see who they got? They got Denver, Clippers, Pelicans, and Mavs that play each of them one time. 2 of those games will be at home. 2 of those games will be on the road. And there's those dates for the group play part of the in-season tournament. So there you go. And I think folks will be happy with 2-2 out of the group play situation. So clearly, if they go 2-2, then the Rockets won't be part of the knockout rounds and get into the quarterfinals or semifinals of the inaugural NBA in-season tournament. So back to it. There you go. I'm kind of with WK on it. Football is king in the country. Football makes America go round, pro and college, much to my chagrin. But have to learn to adapt to that and get back to it. That's why I'm doing more things with football. But there you go. The schedule again in December at the Lakers, December 2nd. Then you got knockout round games. You got at least 2 games there. December 11th, home versus the Spurs. December 13th, home versus Memphis. December 15th, on the road against Memphis. 17th at Milwaukee. On the 18th at Cleveland. The 20th, go back to the comments here. Think about us the last 3 years, all for no experience. Now this tournament will help them learn how to play better, play together. Possibly. Because it's new, we'll see how competitive some players, it could be generational. The older guys may not really give a damn about games being part of an in-season tournament, whereas the younger guys might care, might have more incentive. The payout, I think, is $500,000 per player if you win the in-season tournament. That's a lot of money to us. It's a lot of money to majority of the NBA. It's not a lot of money to the elite, big money folks like Steph Curry, James Harden, Joel Embiid, those huge Dame Lillard, the huge contracts. It's new. It's change. Sometimes change is good. Sometimes change is bad. We'll see how it all plays out. If the Rockets get to those semifinals take place in Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena or T-Mobile Center. But overall, your thoughts on the schedule after going to Cleveland, come home, play the Hawks on the 20th, then the Mavs also at home on the 22nd, then back on the road to the Pelicans on the 23rd, and then to close out the month of December with 3 straight home games. First against the Pacers, then the Suns, and then close it out against whatever is left of the Sixers. So time will tell who knows what the Sixers will look like at that game on December 29th. We'll see if the Rockets get there. I'm not predicting Rockets get to the semifinals of the in-season tournament. If you are, let me know your thoughts on the schedule for October, November. How many wins do you predict them to get in October, November? And then how many wins? Start give me some numbers. Tony M, salute to you. Space Age, salute to you as well. Thank you very much for joining. As I mentioned, Thursday, doing things a little bit different. I'll switch screens and then I'll go back to the schedule. Doing things a little differently because of the NBA releasing the schedule for the season Thursday, and wanted to start talking with the Rocket fans about the schedule. So we did October, November, Thursday. Tonight we're doing December. Saturday the 19th we'll do January. Sunday, I'm not sure yet if I'm going to do 2 shows. Of course, Sunday is the Folks Talking Sports live stream at 6 Central. So I'm not sure if I'll do a Rocket show after that at maybe 8 or 9 o'clock. Most likely I will, but we'll see. And then keep going on Monday and Tuesday. But thank you very much for adjusting your schedule and joining us to talk the Rockets' December schedule, as well as, of course, NBA as well. Big Thrillo, how are you? Oh, WK. Okay, let's see. Let me look at see how the poll results are going right now. Once again, 6-10 seems to be leading the way there. 6-10. We got, tonight we got some votes in the 0 to 5. So we got 0 to 5 and 11 to 15, both at 12%, with 6-10 at 75% right now. WK says 4 wins. 4 wins in December, and dealing with what we know. So it's kind of difficult because we're not sure who they're going to play in the December 4th through December 9th timeframe. But based on what we know, WK, type in the 4 wins you see you predict the Rockets to get in December. Who are those 4 opponents? Thrillo, you got a potential of 7 on the high end. What's the low end for you? What's your low end? Is your low end, are you going as low as 4? Or is your range roughly 5 to 7? Is your low as 5 and high as 7? What's Who you got the Rockets beating in the month of December? 0 to 5. That's the Pistons fan. I'm not sure. I haven't seen Rogue Blue. I think it's Rogue Blue. Rogue Blue is a Detroit Pistons fan. I haven't seen him chime in with comments lately. Hopefully that'll resume because if you don't know, the first game of the year of 2024, the Rockets will play the Pistons here in H-Town. I think that is at 7. So low end 3. So your range is 3, high end 7. All right. But yeah, WK, what you got? You got Lakers as a loss. Who are the win? That's the schedule. All right. The Spurs should be a win. It's a home game against the Spurs. I think we agree on that. Out of the home games, let's look at the home games. Spurs, Grizzlies, Hawks, Pacers, Suns, Sixers, and Mavs. I missed the Mavs on December 22nd. So Hawks and Mavs, 20th, 22nd, and then Pacers, Suns, Sixers. Ooh, Indy. All right, San Antonio. WK says San Antonio, Indy, Atlanta, Cleveland. Wow, winning at Cleveland. Interesting. And you note, WK, that's the second night of back-to-back, too. So keep that in mind. Taking a sip out of my Houston Roundball review mug. Cheers to New Zealand. All right, let's see what we got here. Damon says the Rockets should at least split with the Grizzlies. Ja will be suspended. Yep. And Dillon Brooks should have the motivation. Legit comment there. Thank you for that, Damon. Welcome. As always, appreciate your joining and chiming in with the family. Thrillo, after the first 16, they will be battle tested, and they should have licked their wound and started picking up steam. You say all that, Thrillo, but you got the low end is 3 for in December. So who was the 3? And then type it up. Give me your 7 wins out of that. Family, the Burnett family, or Burnett family. Wins over Philly, Hawks. Y'all picking on Cleveland, boy. Okay, Cleveland, Memphis, and Indy. So we got, that's 5 wins. Memphis, logic is sound with Memphis. Because no job. You'll see how they respond and all that kind of stuff. They played well with job before. But yeah, why are you picking on Cleveland? What is it? Cleveland still has a good team, and that's a road game. That's the second level back-to-back. But yeah, you seem the motivation. Maybe we don't know what the Cavs' schedule is as well. They could be coming off a long road trip, or who knows? That could be their first home game after a long trip. But yeah, y'all seem set on that and win over the Pacers. Pacers are another good young team. Ooh, and got to mark that down. That'll be Cougs. Hopefully, he's healthy. Former Coug Jarris Walker returned to H-Town in that game on December 26th with the Pacers versus Rockets. Hopefully, I'll be able to make that game. Hopefully, there won't be. I don't think the Cougs have a game that day. All right, so let's see. But Thrillo, go back to Thrillo's comment right here. After that first 16, the Rockets will be battle tested. They should have licked their wounds and started picking up steam. And yet you still have on the low end 3 wins out of these games in December. As high as 7. 7. So that'd be a winning month. Be clearly a step in the right direction. Let's see if I can do something here. Yeah, do that right there. Trying things here. Cue with a toy. Old man with a new toy. Learning some things. Space Age asks, will Biggs dominate the Rockets like they did last season? It's true, 7-5. How many 7-5s are there, man? Steven, how are you? Thank you very much for joining us, participating in this conversation, this edition of Let's Talk Houston Rockets. We're taking a look at the Rockets' schedule for the month of December. And let me know if y'all can still read the schedule right there as I change the screen around. See if I can go back to it. Let's see how to do that. There we go. All right. Learning new things, kid with new toy. Okay. All right. Thrillo says the Lakers is a win because the Lakers do play down to the opponent. Yep. Agreed. San Antonio, Memphis, and at least one out of Cleveland, Atlanta, Dallas, Philly. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So all right. Okay, fair. Cool. Appreciate that. Jamon, I have not heard of how severe, heard or read, I should read probably be more accurate. Read how severe Landale's ankle injury is. Let's see. Training camp starts at October 2nd or 3rd. So, barring the severity of it, he should be good to go for training camp. And clearly, if he's not, they're not going to rush him. We want to have him healthy for the season. The Rockets' lack of, Al P's supposed to be 7 feet tall now, but those 7'5" guys on the team. So nobody that tall. So at least one of the Memphis games, okay. At least one of them. At least one. Okay. Thurlow hasn't won at least one of those games versus the Grizz. All right. So let's see. So Steven, chime in. What are your thoughts on the Rockets' wins and losses in December? How many wins will they get in the month of December after what we discussed Thursday? Should be a solid 16 games out of October, November to start the season. Learning each other, learning the system, coaches, all those things. Opponents are tough, but Rockets should do decent to start the season, those first 16 games, and we'll see how they go in December. Clearly, as always, it is all dependent on health. Healthy players, keeping your key players healthy. And that's one thing we don't know when we're predicting win the losses this far out. Your thoughts? Have y'all read Kelly Eco's article in The Athletic about Jalen Green and how beneficial? Ooh, Steven. That's a lot of wins right there, man. Going up to 12. That's a lot. You have very high hopes of the Rockets in December. All right, 6-10 still is winning the majority. It's at 60% now. 11-15 is up to 30%. 0-5 wins is down to 10%. Okay, I got you now. 6 out of 12. Fair enough. As WK notes right here, Memphis played well, yeah, without Ja. He better not take 15 and 20 shots in revenge games. He better not. If he gets to 10 like the first half, he'll be sitting down unless he's red hot because Coach Udoka won't play that. All right. Do y'all think we can sneak a win against Milwaukee? Because there's a new coach there. That's fair. The Bucks situation, it's a veteran team. It should be on autopilot, for the most part. But you never know. And this is, Thurlow kind of concurs that line of reasoning. The Rockets do seem to have recent success against the Bucks. We're having fun. This is part of the conversation. This is August 18th. Looking at the NBA schedule, looking at December, roughly 4 months away. We have no idea what's going to happen between now and then. Giannis might get injured. Hope he doesn't. Jalen Green might get injured. Injuries might just knock out the Rockets. Jalen, Jabari, Fred, all of them out for the year. Hope not. Obviously, clearly don't want that to happen. But if it does, it's going to have an impact on our predictions naturally. But this is part of conversation, part of the fun of it, part of the fun of being a family member of the Let's Talk Houston Rockets show. That's what we're doing here, having conversation, just chit chatting, chopping it up, talking hoops on a Friday in August. So that's where we are. Hey, not trying at all, Tony, to have a jinx whatsoever. But so if you want to boo me, hate, no hate, no ill intent. And see, Steven and Tony already throwing in those knives, already doing that, looking at January 1st against Detroit. I haven't seen the Pistons schedule. I don't know if they're playing on the 30th, 31st, but Rockets for the first time in a while are not playing on New Year's Eve because I know they played on January 1st this past season. Was it against Denver? I think maybe. And usually in previous years, they have a home game on New Year's Eve because I've been there and then go party. Well, when I was younger, too old to do that now. Go to a game, then go out and celebrate. Okay. I want to get the pulse of the family. Got some new members this evening. Have thoughts changed about Jalen Green? Because a previous show, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, when we discussed and I asked you guys your thoughts on who would be the face of the franchise for the Rockets as a player, face of the franchise for the Rockets. And majority of folks said Jabari. And then Amin. Nobody said, no, maybe one person said Jalen. I was kind of surprised. I'm like, it's not like the young man forgot how to play ball. His defense has to improve. Yes, we all agreed on that. He needs to be a more well-rounded player, not just a scorer, not just a guy who can get buckets. He needs to handle the ball, increase his assist total, and also decrease his turnovers, as well as improve his defense. But do y'all think? I mean, he can still play. He had a good experience with Team USA. He learned a lot. The competition was good. The coaches asked him to do different things with the ball and off the ball. So, y'all seem kind of, or is it more a case of y'all are higher on Jabari and Amin rather than being down on Jalen? Should I word it that way? Y'all have much more of higher upside and potential for Jabari Amin than you do for Jalen, which I still think are kind of interesting to me. So, Jamon, thank you very much. One, here we go. Space Age. Because I agree. And I think all of them will benefit from having Coach Udoka lead them. Clearly. I think that Tony M back to, he thinks Jalen will be the face of the franchise. Jamon, appreciate the love and support right here. Thank you very much for that. That pinned a contribution right there for the super chat. Appreciate that. And WKI, it is recency bias. I think that is part of it as well. Jamon says, I think Jalen Green needs to have an all-star caliber year. John Morant was an all-star by year 3. If Jalen doesn't, then I don't think he's going to be the star we hoped for. Wow. Okay. Then my counter to that, Jamon, is this will be Jalen's and his teammates' first year with Coach Udoka. Some Rocket fans would say this would be the players' first year with a legit head coach. Um, if you want to hate on Coach Silas, Stephen Silas, you can. You can do that here. Feel free to do that here on the show. We'll see how it all plays out. WK's right there, recency bias. Jabari has played the last good game folks have seen. Jabari looked great in Vegas in Summer League. Jalen's looked good in pickup games or the clips that we've seen on social media. Take that for what it's worth. Thrillo says he thinks Jalen is who management has in that position now. But if he doesn't stamp that spot this year, I think Jabari will snatch it from him. Steven says this is Jalen Green's year to take the season over and become the face of the franchise. We will find out if he is or isn't this year. KDC. Thank you, KDC, for joining. Thank you for long time no see. For typing it up here, adding comment, as always, appreciate it. KDC is not a super Jalen Green fan, but his upside is higher than Amin. We saw like 15 minutes of him at summer games and folks putting him in. I mean, that's fair. He played great in a quarter, or so, and then had the injury. Tony M wants to see how Jabari handles his lows. He gets real high on his highs, as a lot of younger players do. You got to just be consistent. Be consistently good and minimize your poor games. And even if you have poor games, it's like once out of 3 weeks. It's like an aberration. You're not even worried about it. You just forget about it. Here we go. JVG said that if the players ain't getting it done, we know it's the player, not the coach this time. That's fair. New coach. Fans can't blame everything on coaching this year. Silas was a convenient scapegoat. That's fair. Space Age's response to KDC. Amen is a two-way player already. But I mean, that's based on one game in Summer League. We see his potential. It's like his brother. But that was Summer League. You saw glimpses of it. You can see it. But you got to see them do it in the NBA when the games count. This would be Jalen's third year. First year under this coaching staff. I think when Jabari, I mean, heck, if y'all, the regular and the long time family folks know how high I am and have been on Jabari. Long time. I thought last year Jabari would be the face of the Rockets franchise. So I haven't changed in that. I'm just curious to see how it seems to have changed from more Rocket fans from Jalen to Jabari. So we'll see how it all plays out. But the overall talent level of the team has improved, which is key and will be a factor in getting more wins this season. New coach, head coach or not. I think this team even would have won more games if Silas would have been brought back, which wasn't going to happen anyway. But you get my point. I can't blame Coach Silas for none of that, but I can say he didn't know how to adjust. That was one of his big criticisms from the fans. Sleep Art, thank you very much for your comments as well and participating. He thinks people get excited for players that make others around them better. For the most part, fans are like that. There's still that pocket of fans who all love the one-on-one style and flash than substance. But KDC still high on Jabbar. The recent summer is a good sign. Yep. And we got to see how they look with the new staff. We have, and I'm included in this. We have high expectations for Coach Udoka and the staff. It's not up to them, the coaches, to justify that. Thrillo with a with an old school statement. What grinds my gears about Jalen is the amount of wide open threes he misses. That has nothing to do with coaching. Tony, part of the discussion here we mentioned Thursday night. Whose minutes will Cam Whitmore take? How much will Cam play? And where will he get consistent minutes? And when? How soon? I don't see that happening early in the season. I saw that one of my buddies texted me that OKC wave Ty. Boy, I wish him good luck. He's still young. Wish him luck on that. Agree. Jabari got that versatility to do that. But he should not have to play the three much as long as Dylan Brooks is here. And I'm going to say it again. Boy, man, Jabari, Tar, and Dylan Brooks together. Mm-hmm. Tate's minutes, I'm not sure Jason going to play a lot. Steven says he disagrees. If there are no plays set or any function in the offense, that can lead up to a lot of forced threes. That's about responding to Thrillo's statement about Jalen in the threes. I have not seen much of LP summer action. I've heard he's added to his bag. He's gotten bigger, gotten taller. Looking forward to seeing what he does in training camp. The season is getting closer. The Rockets media sent out the email today requesting media and colleagues to submit their request for season credentials. So we're getting closer and closer, which I'm excited about because basketball is my sport. Basketball is my lifeline. All right, KG, while it's good that Jalen Green is practicing with the group for Team USA, any concern of some of those friendships may come to bite us down the road if those guys become friends and recruit. Well, I mean, that's part of it as well. You know, we know it happens. We know it happens, and we know it has happened. That's part of it. But if Jalen is happy with the organization, with his role, and the Rockets are winning and winning a lot, he'll stay. If he gets one inkling of he didn't like it here, or just one person getting in his ear, staying in his ear, who knows? But it was interesting that Jalen and Cade shared time in the backcourt together. Some, Cade had the ball in his hand, some, well, more, most. Jalen had it some. And, that bitterness between the two of them for a while. Maybe they, got over that. Who knows? But that's part of being a member of Team USA. That's one of the benefits of being part of Team USA is those connections with players, other players. You heard about them, but you get a chance to see them in up close in different settings and think to yourself, man, this guy can really play, man. He could help us out. Who knows? Hey, that's part of it. Very good statement right here from a Sleep Art 11 _ I'm just wondering who the offense is going to run through with so much options. It's a great problem to have. Run through LP some, Fred some, Jalen some, KPJ some. Yep, Jabari some. Rockets have a lot of versatile players and flexibility, which I think the staff will utilize and maximize. Let's see. from a sleep. Do I think Tari has a shot to get a starting job? Where? Seriously, where? Who would he replace? Because your answer might piss off some folks. It should not be Dylan Brooks. It better not be. It should not be Dylan Brooks for all that money the Rockets invested in him. I just believe Tari, it may change at some point in his career, but right now, he's just one of those guys who excels at coming off the bench. I think that's best for him now. I think it's best for the team now. But asleep, all right, you tell me whose minutes would it be? LP? It's not gonna be Jabari. So who would it be? If Joel Embiid is disgruntled throughout the season and requests a trade, do I think the Rockets should go for him? Y'all tell me. Joel's 30 years old, dealt with injuries a lot. He's a big dude, a lot of weight carrying around, tremendously skilled player. But that'd speed up the timetable. But who would you trade for Joel Embiid? Because it'd have to be a lot. All right. Space Age, Tari, Cam off the bench, in my opinion. I noticed you didn't say KPJ. Where is he going to be? Will he be traded? KDC would start Tari. So, yeah, part of that, our Rockets, y'all know how I feel. If Tari beats Dylan in practice, it's obvious to everybody that Tari is a better player, is a better fit in the starting five. Then contract be damned, you got to do it. It'd be a bad look in a sense because you had so much money spent on Dylan Brooks. But even if Tari kicks Dylan's behind every day in, day out, I doubt the Rockets would start Tari in November or late October. I don't see that happening. Let's see. The three. Yeah, Tari's going to play. He's for sure going to do that. Joel, fans of the NBA, Joel sure does fall a lot. He looks clumsy. He lumbers. He's not in shape. He's, and this part as well about Joel. He's up there. I'm not sure. His timeline may not be the same as I don't believe it is the same as the Rockets. And Thrillo says they'd have to give up everybody for Embiid, and then he'd be disgruntled here. Yeah, that's fair. Space Age would not touch Embiid. Jamon says Tari having to compete with Brooks for minutes is good for his development. Agreed. He prides himself on getting. Yeah, agreed. Okay, Space Age. You typed it. You want a true center, but Joel isn't it. So who is that true center that you would want? And by your statement, are you saying that LP is not a true center? So who would you want as your true center for the Rockets? And Tony is legit here as well. The Rockets front court center rim protector is still a position of need. But in terms of versatility at the 3 and the 4, if you want to put LP at more of a natural 4 spot, okay. But overall, LP, Jabari, Dylan Brooks, Tari, that's a hell of a group right there. And then you still got Cam, Jay Sean Tate. That's strong. That's very strong. Look back at the poll again, the poll question. 11 to 15 seems to be doing pretty well. It's 23% predicting on the Rockets winning 11 games in December minimum. 0 to 5 is last, 8%. And 6 to 10 wins is at 69%. True about the Joker. He's not a great rim protector. He's gotten better as a team defender, and he impacts the game in so many ways. Tony says LP is a power forward. All right. Space Age. Who is your true center? Who? And doesn't matter if the players' skill set complement each other. Doesn't matter. Because Jabari could be a weak side rim protector. Tari can do that a little bit. I mean, heck, we've seen LP get some help side blocks. LP has his lateral quickness is not ideal, but he's surprised some folks with his defense around the basket. All right, let's see here. Thrillo, Tari might go too hard to start. He exerts so much energy while on the court. That's fair because he gives it everything he got when he's on the floor. And if he starts, he might run out of gas by halftime. KDC Joel is a decent two-way center for a championship contender. Embiid may have to be a number 2 guy. Would he be a number 2 guy with the Rockets? I don't see Rockets doing that, but all right, that's fair. A rim protector is much needed. Walker Kessler type. I was high on Walker Kessler come out of college. Yep. And an issue with rim protector. A rim protector is needed if the perimeter is just awful. If the Rockets can keep guys out the paint, then you don't have to worry about a need of a rim protector because the one on defense on the perimeter is doing fine. You're keeping guys out the paint and limiting paint touches, points in the paint. Then you're ahead of the game right there. A rim protector is needed if your perimeter defense is a turnstile and guys are just blowing past everybody at all the perimeter positions. That's one thing that Coach Udoka and the staff will correct. So if they do that, protecting the rim, it's an issue, but as long as the perimeter defense is better and improved, it should not be a major issue. And this is key. Just touched on a little bit what I said. See how much Rockets improved defensively under Udoka. And the last part of that statement from Jamon, I kind of agree that KPJ may compete with Jalen if Scoot is a better defender. I think so. I think so. Asleep Art thinks the Rockets need to find a backup rim protector in the draft. No point to waste cap space on him. Cap space on wings and point guards. I have to look at that. Off the top of my head, I can't think of any college. I'm sure there are. I'm not sure, but there should be some rim protectors in college. I would think so. And this is, agreed. Rockets paid Fred and Dylan big bucks. So the perimeter defense is better. It should be better. It needs to be better. It has to be better if the Rockets want to take another step forward and really make a move in this phase, the second phase. Scoring points, hear me out here. Scoring points should not be a problem. Shooting a high percentage might still be a problem. But improvements on defense with the new staff and new players brought in better not be a problem. Rockets have guys who are good defenders, one-on-one defenders, team defenders, willing defenders, and are raising the bar in terms of competition in practice, which should help the defense in the games. So I'd be very surprised. I'd be disappointed if throughout the season, all of us fans and media and coaches and players and the defense just isn't very good. The defense, we're just not stopping folks. We're just not getting stops. We're just not keeping guys out of the paint. Just little things we're not doing right. We're not sealing the possession with rebound. If that's still an issue, then some players need to be moved because it's not the coaches in. Steve Bart, I think Jabari will see some minutes at the backup five. If that's the case, that would also free up space for Cam. That's an option. Rockets got a lot of flexibility, a lot of versatility in the skill set of the players. Tony says he thinks JG will get a pass if KPJ plays better defense. Coach will just scheme around it because he has Barr and Dillon Brooks. You might be right. I hope you're not right in the sense that, and superstars, players organizations do treat face of franchise players differently. But if KPJ is the better player on both ends of the floor and is still not getting more minutes than Jalen, then that contradicts what Coach Udoka has said throughout this summer when he got hired. Guys are going to compete. Roles will change, and the better players will get those minutes. Guys are going to earn their minutes. So, Tony, I understand what you're saying, and you could be right. Could be on point. Hope not in that sense. I think I'm leaning more with Draymond on this. If Jalen doesn't establish himself as an all-around player, Stone and Udoka are probably going to package him in a trade with picks for a star. Steven says, after watching Jabari dominate in the Summer League, I'm excited to see him translated into the regular season. He can be a most improved player. Looking forward to it. I am. I mean, heck, I've said it. I'm not changing until he gives me reason to change. I said it at the draft. I said it last season. I said it on TV. I said it here. That I believe Jabari Smith is will be a better overall player than Paolo Banchero, offense and defense. Period. You got to do it now. But I think he has that potential and that skill set to get it done on both ends of the floor. This is interesting. I think he seriously thinks Asleep Art seriously thinks there's a chance KPJ can beat out Jalen. And then follows it up with he was a better player last year. If it's cut and dry, so be it. It's the pros. I'm not, I'm old school. I'm not coddling you. because of your contract, because of your draft status. If someone's better, I'm not expecting this though. Let me be clear on that. I'm expecting Jalen to earn his starting spot. But if he doesn't, and KPJ earns that spot, then KPJ should start. Alvin with a perimeter game is just plain nasty. That's all he's missing. We'll see. I think the coaches are going to really unlock Alp's complete skill set. Go into that bag on offense and help him better as an individual defender as well as a team defender. God, that's it. Let me get back to the schedule real quick here. Look at the poll one more time. Now up to 73% predicting 6 to 10 wins in December for the Rockets. Jamon believes that Alp takes the biggest leap this year. Think about that. Fans have options of who will take the biggest leap this year. That's a great sign for the franchise. Thrillo agrees, but he thinks KPJ would benefit the team better as a 6-man. Fair. And Steven, yeah. Paulo, he did last year, and I mean so far a little bit this year. Not his fault, really. He seems to be like the NBA has chosen him to be part of the, I guess, one of the chosen ones. That has happened in the NBA. Does not mean he'll be a champion. And if everybody but the NBA realize it, knows it, that Jabari's a better player and Jabari win the championships, let the NBA go and continue to spoon feed Paulo. Who cares? WK thinks he has that kind of talent, but believes the organization will always have trust issues that will prevent the organization from elevating KPJ over Jalen this season. Might be. We'll see. Amen. Same thing. If he gets perimeter game consistently, he'll be a problem as well. True. Slim Boss, how you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for the comment. Thank you. Long time to see me. How you doing? KPJ won't get a starting job over Jalen. The media is already priming Jalen to be a star. That's fair as well. We can say some of that stuff from media spoon feeding that narrative about Jalen. Some would argue that. I think Trae Young is upset that he was not invited to USA basketball. He feels bitter, especially because Grant Hill is part of the in charge of picking the players. A sleep art, he's a better all-around player. I think I'm talking about KPJ. If Udoka wants the ball to move, KPJ has a better opportunity with that point guard experience. Slim Boss, take a look at the schedule for December for the Rockets. How many wins for the Rockets, in your opinion, in December? And let's just focus on what we know, because we don't know who the Rockets will play as part of the in-season tournament with those 2 games, maybe 3, I doubt that, but 2 games between December 4th through 9th. So what we know, Slim Boss, anyone else who hasn't chimed in with comments here, as opposed to participating in the poll question, how many wins? Who will the Rockets beat? Get those wins in December. And as a member of the media, this is true. The media will build you up just to tear you down. Yeah, happens all the time. I really do hope Jalen will be a star, but all the summer hype going on with all the other players, we'll see. We shall see. It's a good problem for the Rockets to have. Talented young core, with a good head coach, Rockets are in a much better position overall going forward than they were last year at this time. So, okay, Slim says more on the higher end. What on the 6 to 10 more? So, all right. Do you have the Rockets winning at Cleveland? I'm curious about that. That seemed to be a pick for. And okay, overall, this is now roughly through December. This will be roughly 31 games into the season. So 31 games. So October, November, and the games in December. How many? What do you see the Rockets' record being at the end of December? I agree with that. Great statement right there. Let competition control this team, and we'll be the best version of ourselves. Fair. Oh, I don't doubt the Rockets can do that. I'm just saying I'm leaning more toward it's the second game of a back to back. That's really all I'm putting out there. Rockets are in a great position that an injury to a player won't hurt them as much with how much stack agreed. Rockets got improved the depth of talent on this year's roster is so much better. That's a positive. But back to the question as you wind down these final moments of this edition of Let's Talk Houston Rockets. And we'll have another one tomorrow, Saturday, August 19th. We're going to look at the games in January, which all the haters on here already got the Rockets winning one game, the first game of January on New Year's Day against Detroit. That's fair. That's fine. Jamon says somewhere around 500, hopefully. I think if the Rockets don't win, so Jamon is on this train. If the Rockets don't win at least 40 games, Stone should be on the hot seat next offseason. I'm just not going that far. I don't see the Rockets bringing Ty back. Where? I mean, Aaron Holiday, and where would he play? And if I'm Ty, why come back to the Rockets? Because of how many guards they have, and he will not get any minutes consistently here. He and his agent, his representation need to find a spot, need to find a team that is lacking point guard depth, and then bet on himself with that franchise. Got another at around 500, maybe more from Space Age here. Slim Boss says he believes the Cleveland game is a trap game, but a competitive loss at best. Rockets are not getting to that point of competitive losses. Onward and upward for the Rockets. So let's see. October, November consensus Thursday was about 8-8 of the 12 known games for December for the Rockets. Let's just go with those, the 12 known games. That'd be 28. So yeah, 40 is high. I'm not going that high. I'm not going that high. And how serious has Rockets haven't said anything officially about the severity of Jock's injury? Rockets, I mean, if Rockets have options up front, clearly. It's August. They have options. So 28 games, the known 28 games. I'll say 8-8, based on 8-8. 28, 12-16. So counting the 30, if they have 30 games, 14 in the month of December, I'd say 13 and 17, maybe 12 and 18, 13 and 17, something like that. Steven, I'm just glad that the Rockets are making the play-in tournament is actually a possibility this season. Couldn't dare to say that the past 3 years. Progress, moving forward, getting better. I'm not going that far as a play-in, but I think they will be sniffing the play-in. I think they'll miss out by 2, 3 wins, but the fact that it's even being considered now is a positive. And with that, going to wrap it up. Did an hour. It's easy talking an hour with Rocket fans about the Rockets. We're going to do it again Saturday, August 19th, same time, 7 p.m. Central. Take a look at the January schedule and chop it up and make it to predictions. So join me August 19th, 7 p.m. Central Time. Cheers. Jaymon as well. Always, thank you for your contribution. That super chat, really do appreciate it. Put it up there one more time. You're more than generous. As always, I really do appreciate everybody taking time out of their lives to discuss the Rockets with me and other members of the Rocket family. It is very appreciated. And if you want to contribute via the super chat, you can. Click on the $sign. And I will see you Saturday, August 19th, 7 p.m. Central. Peace.